fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you're watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, for Top 10 on the 10th, I'll be covering my top 10 Dolph Lundgren movies. But first, a word from our sponsors. The rules of this top 10 list? Well, rule number 1, I have to have seen the movie. Clearly, if I haven't seen a movie, I can't judge it and it can't be on my top 10 list. Rule number 2, Dolph Lundgren has to play the lead role. So movies like The Expendables and Universal Soldier, where he is a supporting character in the movie, are not eligible either. Rule number 3, I have to like Dolph Lundgren's performance in the movie. So if there's a movie that I really enjoy, but he was poorly cast and wasn't the right choice to be in the movie, it doesn't qualify either. And rule number 4, this is about the most entertaining movies, not necessarily the best made movies. So there might be a movie with better acting or better production quality that's lower on the list than a movie with poor production quality or poor acting, just because the movie with the poor acting was more entertaining. Coming in at number 10, we have Masters of the Universe. Now, I will admit, a lot of the reason why this is on my list at all is pure nostalgia, because this is the first Dolph Lundgren movie I ever saw in my life. And yeah, when I was a little kid when it first came out, it scared the crap out of me, but as I got older, I started enjoying it, and yes, it's cheesy and campy, but this was made in the 80s, and it was clearly a product of its time. I mean, come on, this was a movie based on a toy line. It was based on a line of toys and maybe a cartoon that was solely designed to sell toys. So yeah, it's going to be cheesy, it's going to be campy, and it's targeted towards children. So, I mean, the special effects are kind of weird. The acting was good. I really enjoyed the acting in this movie. I think everyone did a good job in this movie with the acting. This is a very entertaining movie, but it is absolutely a product of its time. And that's something you need to know going into it. And yes, this is something from my childhood that I really enjoyed, and it's a lot of happy, fond memories. So yeah, I'm going to like this. I'm going to rate this higher than maybe I should have, just because of nostalgia's sake, but this is still a good movie, and that's why it comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have Peacemaker. Now, this is a movie, again, starring Dolph Lundgren. He plays this Air Force major, and someone just tried to hijack some nuclear weapons, and it's up to him to stop these nuclear weapons from firing off and blowing up Washington, D.C. So here he is in this missile silo, fighting these evil bad guy people, and it's a fantastic movie. It is a very good and entertaining movie. It has some slow points, it has some flaws, but it's still fun to watch. It's still entertaining. Some people may nitpick against it. They may take issues with the fact that it has a big cat and mouse element, because Dolph Lundgren's playing this one-man army against this team of mercenary terrorist assassin type people, but it's still a fun movie. It's still an entertaining movie. It's got decent acting. The acting is fun. The acting is good. I mean, Dolph Lundgren runs kind of weird, but he had hurt his back earlier in that, so he's doing these running scenes with a hurt back, and he's running he looks kind of like a penguin waddling when he runs. It's pretty funny and entertaining, but it's still an entertaining movie. It's fun to watch, and it's a very original story that I hadn't seen before, and that's why Peacemaker comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have Pentathlon. Now, this is quite possibly the most unique and most different movie on this list. Dolph Lundgren plays this East German athlete who goes to the Olympics, competes, wins a gold medal, and then defects to the United States. And the East German government is trying to get him back and trying to kill him. And when they find out that he's going to compete in the Olympics for the United States, they start trying to kill him and assassinate him and take him out of the picture. It's kind of slow. It doesn't have a lot of action in it because it's mostly about Dolph Lundgren training to be this athlete and run this pentathlon event at the Olympics. But it's still a fun movie. It's an original movie. The acting is good. It's a very entertaining movie. And it's a very original concept that I haven't seen before. If you haven't noticed from my reviews in the past, I like when a movie is original. It has an original story and something I haven't seen before or heard before. I like it when it does that. And that's why, because of its just pure originality, Pentathlon comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have The Russian Specialist. This is a movie where Dolph Lundgren plays a Russian Special Forces operative whose wife and daughter who are killed right before his very eyes. So he leaves Russia and illegally immigrates to the United States. And while he's there working as an auto mechanic, a woman from Russia finds him, a rich, powerful woman with lots of connections, finds him and hires him to find her missing granddaughter who's in Russia because he knows the area and he has these special skills that will allow him to get the granddaughter back. This is a fun movie with lots of explosions, lots of gunfights, lots of action scenes. This is a fun, exciting movie. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren plays that stereotypical Russian guy that he's so famous for with like Ivan Drago and everything, but it's still a fun movie to watch. It's still a good movie. It's an entertaining movie, and this is definitely one people should check out. And that's why The Russian Specialist comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have Detention. This is a movie where Dolph Lundgren plays a former military operative who gets tired of all the war and retires from the military and becomes a teacher at a high school. Meanwhile, at this school, after the school gets out for the day, terrorists come in, and mercenaries and assassins or what have you come in, they infiltrate the school, and now it's a showdown between Dolph Lundgren, his students, and the assassin people. It's a fun movie. It's an entertaining movie. It's kind of like Die Hard, but in a school and with kids involved. It's very fun. It's very exciting. It's not really what someone would expect. Honestly, going in, I thought it was Dolph Lundgren fighting a bunch of students who were causing a ruckus. But no, I watched the movie and I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to see Dolph Lundgren beat the crap out of some punk teenagers, but assassins are a good choice too. It's a very fun and entertaining movie, and that's why Detention comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Dark Angel, or as its other title goes, I Come in Peace. This is a movie where Dolph Lundgren plays a cop, and you got this alien guy who comes in, and he's shooting people up, overdosing them on heroin or cocaine or what have you, and then sucking out their brain juice to get the endorphins, because on their planet, that's like this really good and powerful drug, and it's very addictive, and this alien dude is just harvesting the drug to sell to his people on his planet. And so it's up to Dolph Lundgren to fight against this alien guy. It's just very fun. It's very entertaining. It's an original story, kind of, sort of, but not really. The sucking out of the brain juice part, I've never seen that before. But otherwise, it's an underdog cop movie, and it's very fun to watch. It's very entertaining, and it's a very good movie. I love this movie. That's why Dark Angel comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Men of War. This is a movie where Dolph Lundgren plays a mercenary who gets hired by this evil corporation guy to gather a team of other mercenaries and go to this island and get the people of this island to sign a document, handing over the land and allowing the company to mine the island. However, if the people don't sign the document and don't sign over the island, the mercenaries are supposed to kill everyone on the island and take it over by force. But Dolph Lundgren has a change of heart and decides to defend the island against his former teammates. This is a fun movie. It's an entertaining movie with beautiful action scenes, amazing action sequences, lots of explosions and gunfights, and it's got a great cast along with Tiny Zeus Lister, who was in No Holds Barred, and he had a cameo in the Dark Knight movie. This guy is in a lot of stuff. He's that big black guy with a weird lazy eye type thing going on. This is an amazing movie. It's a fun movie. It's not too heavy on the plot, but it's still a fun movie to watch with great action scenes, and it's very entertaining. And that's why Men of War comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have The Punisher. Now, a lot of people will think this is a silly, campy movie, and it is, and that's why it's fun to watch. Dolph Lundgren as Frank Castle, the Punisher, going about killing bad guys, and then the Yakuza comes in, and Frank Castle has to fight against them because the Yakuza killed the family, or kidnapped the kids of all of the previous mob bosses. So Frank Castle is up against these He's up against the Yakuza trying to get these kids back and doing all this stuff. It is fantastic. Yeah, it's cheesy, it's campy, but it's fun to watch. It's entertaining. The acting's kind of bad, but it's still fun. It's a fun watch. It's very entertaining, and it knows what it is and doesn't make any apologies about it. This is quite possibly the first movie I saw where I recognized the name Dolph Lundgren. He's a fantastic movie. He did a great job with what he was given in this movie. Yeah, it's campy, but it's fun campy. And that's why The Punisher comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have Showdown in Little Tokyo. Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee play LA cops trying to shut down the Yakuza in Little Tokyo. They're aided by an informant played by Tia Carrera. Now, I gotta be honest, I love this movie. This is a fun movie, and it really sparks a big place in my heart. Because in this movie, Tia Carrera was the first time I ever saw boobs. And they were nice boobs. So this movie definitely has that special place in my heart. It'll never go away. This movie will always be in my top 3 Dolph Lundgren movies. It will never get lower than number 3 just because when I watched this for the first time when I was 5 or 6 years old, it was the first time in my life I saw boobs. So this movie is going to be high up, but it's still fun. It's still entertaining. The action scenes are spectacular and amazing. Lots of gunfire and explosions. And it's really fun to watch. And that's why Showdown in Little Tokyo comes in at number 2. Coming in at number 1, we have Skin Trade. Now, this is the first movie I ever reviewed for this channel. And I gotta be honest, my review of that movie is pretty crappy. It was pretty poorly made. But it's still a good movie. It's still a great movie. And I still stand behind everything I said in that review. This is easily my favorite Dolph Lundgren movie of all time. The action scenes are spectacular. The acting is great. You've got Dolph Lundgren. You've got Tony Jaa. You've got Michael Jai White. All in the same movie. And you've got Ron Perlman. What's not to like about this cast? This is an amazing cast with an amazing fight scenes and a great story that a lot of people don't touch on because apparently it's one of those things you just don't talk about in the real world. Even though it happens, it's about sex trafficking and it happens in real life. And this movie points that out. And it's about a cop investigating sex trafficking. And it's a fun movie to watch. It's an exciting movie to watch. This is a spectacular movie. I recommend anyone I know watch Skin Trade. And that is why Skin Trade comes in at number 1. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.